Isabella and I had been married for quite some time, long enough to reach the level of success that allowed us to buy whatever we desired. Children were never part of our plan, and frankly, we never dwelled on the idea. My ambitions stretched far beyond a life of school runs and diaper changes. I had bigger dreams, ones that revolved around building something of my own, something lasting. For years, I devoted myself to my business, pouring every ounce of my energy into it. Relentless effort turned into tangible success. I founded my own company, carefully selected a team, built a reputation, and crafted advertisements that drew in the right clients. Slowly but surely, I established a name for myself. My story, my entire world, was confined within the four walls of my office. It was there, amid the endless work, that I realized I needed an assistant, someone to manage the smaller tasks I no longer had time for. Then one day she walked in. Harper. Young, quiet, and sharp-eyed, she seemed eager, almost desperate, to work for me. The usual interview process barely seemed necessary. She dove into the job with such precision and efficiency that hiring her became an easy decision. She was good, really good. The first few weeks passed without incident, and for a while, everything seemed perfect. But then subtle shifts began to surface. Harper was still the same professional, diligent employee in front of others. But when we were alone, a different side of her emerged. Her demeanor turned bold, her glances lingered longer than they should, her words dripped with flirtation. She brushed against me unnecessarily, her compliments carrying an undertone that went beyond simple appreciation. At first, I dismissed it. Perhaps I was misreading things, imagining something that wasn't there. But the moment she leaned in, her lips far too close to mine, I knew there was no mistaking her intentions. I pulled back just in time, my patience wearing thin. "Listen," I said, struggling to keep my tone calm, though frustration was evident in my voice. "I've kept quiet about this for a while now. I noticed what's been happening and tried to ignore it, but this is too much. I'm married. I'm not interested in anything beyond a professional relationship. If this continues, I'll have no choice but to let you go. You're a great employee, and I don't want to lose you, but I need to make myself clear. I hope you understand." Harper averted her gaze, nodded wordlessly, and returned to her desk as if nothing had happened. The following week passed uneventfully, and for a moment, I allowed myself to believe that the problem had resolved itself. But I was wrong. The looks returned. The flirtation persisted. She played a dangerous game, one I refused to be a part of. The second boundary was crossed, and this time, I knew there was no room for leniency. It was over. I didn't even want to confront her in person. Instead, I faxed her a termination letter, deciding that she was no longer worth the effort. The moment she received it, she came rushing toward me, tears streaking her face. "Please don't do this," she begged, desperation lacing her voice. "I love my job. I need it. Take back the letter. I never meant to cause you any trouble. Please trust me. I swear I have James. I love him." Then, her next words changed everything. "Your wife hired me." I froze, the weight of those words sinking in. My Isabella, my wife, was behind this? Harper sat down heavily, her hands trembling as she spilled everything. She told me how she had met Isabella at a small cafe where she used to work. Isabella had come in often, eventually offering her a deal, an absurdly generous sum and a position at my company. But the job came with a condition. She was to seduce me, push me to the point of betrayal, and ensure that I crossed a line that could never be undone. "Why?" I asked, genuinely baffled. Harper hesitated before continuing, her voice shaky. "The plan was simple. If you cheated, Isabella would have all the proof she needed to file for divorce and walk away with a huge share of your assets. She had it all mapped out. After the divorce, she'd take the money and run away with her lover." I leaned back in my chair, exhaling sharply. The realization settled over me like a thick fog, but strangely, I wasn't as angry as I expected to be. It all made sense now, the calculated distance Isabella had kept, the subtle shifts in our marriage, and now, this desperate ploy. Harper watched me with apprehension, likely expecting an outburst. But instead, I simply nodded. "Calm down," I reassured her. "You're not going to lose your job for telling me the truth. You don't have to worry about Isabella anymore. I'll handle everything." Harper let out a breath of relief, and from that day on, she remained one of my most trusted employees. But as for Isabella, she had no idea that the game she played had already been lost. That very day, I contacted a notary and quietly transferred everything under my name, every asset, every investment, to trusted friends. Everything Isabella had set her sights on was gone before she even realized what had happened. As predicted, she soon filed for divorce, expecting to walk away with a fortune. The day we stood in court, I watched her face shift from confidence to sheer disbelief as the notary read the contracts aloud. Nothing was in my name anymore. Sure, we divided the proceeds from our jointly owned assets, the apartment, the car, but it was nothing compared to what she had planned to take. The betrayal cut deep, but the victory was mine. After the divorce, she called me repeatedly, her voice laced with fury and desperation. She threatened me, demanded money, accused me of ruining her life. But there was nothing left for her to take. And as for her lover? Well, I imagine he wasn't too pleased with how things turned out either. It wouldn't surprise me if she had another unfortunate surprise waiting for her just around the corner.